major events canceled, and updates from the teachers. Good day, CCHS families. We hope you're all doing well. Today we begin with our weekly gardening tip.
So I know a lot of you are thinking about how you're going to start your plants this year. And one thing that people often think of is they think of using an egg carton. But using an egg carton is actually really not very effective. Very quickly, its roots are going to reach the bottom, which will then send that plant into shock over, not immediately, but within a couple of days. It'll start to want more space. So that means that you can only keep something in an egg carton or an egg shell, because I also see those ones, for a very short period of time. This is going to take quite a while to get wet enough and to decompose enough that the roots can break through this heavy grade of cardboard. So that's really not going to be effective for any kind of plant that gets bigger. If you were going to use something like the egg shell, I could start it in here potentially, because it does take a while to get going. But when I go to plant it, I had better really break that. Now think about what's going to happen to my plant. It might not know what to do after I've broken this. It might damage the roots. So these are great options, and I know that Pinterest and YouTube tutorials, they often say try it. I would say don't. It would be better for you to make paper pots.
And now for some outsider news. The Calgary Stampede for the 2020 year has been cancelled for the first time in 97 years. Even though school's not on, the Green Club was able to fund getting new dryers for Kamarooja High School. Here is a clip of Mr. Simonton demonstrating it for us.
Making sure you wash your hands very well. Happy birthday twice. I'm singing in my head. Go to dry my hands and, whoa, what's this thing? This is the new Green Club initiative, hand dryers.
Class registration information for the CCHS 2020-2021 school year has now been posted on your favorite channel, CCHS News. For grade 9s, be sure to register by May 4th, and for everybody else, be sure to register by May 8th. Here is the fact of the day, brought to you by Cyclone.
A person can live without food for about a month, but only about a week without water. If the amount of water in your body is reduced by just 1%, you'll feel thirsty. If it's reduced by 10%, you'll die.
Are you interested in hosting the next episode of CCHS News? Be sure to email us at ken.simonton@crps.ca or DM us at cchsmedia20. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode of CCHS News, and we are going to leave you off with another bedtime story from Mr. Mellors. Be sure to wash your hands, and see you next week.
Hello CCHS, and welcome to another edition of A Bedtime Story with Mellors. I hope you all have your warm favorite bedtime beverage, your favorite bedtime snacks, a willing puppy as a companion, and tonight's story is one of my family's all-time favorites, Good Families Don't, by Robert Munch, illustrated by Alan Daniel. To Carmen, to Joseph. One night, Carmen walked up the stairs to her bedroom. There, lying on her bed, was a great big purple, green, and yellow fart. She ran down the stairs, yelling, "Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, Mommy, Daddy, there is a fart up on my bed." "Don't be ridiculous," said her father. "Good families like ours do not have farts." Nevertheless, he walked up the stairs to see what was going on. When he opened the door to the bedroom, the fart jumped on him. He said, "Ah, clack, ah," and fell right on down. After a while, Carmen began to wonder, how her father was doing. She crawled up the stairs very slowly and looked up over the top step and saw her father's feet sticking out from underneath the fart. So Carmen ran down the stairs yelling, "Mommy, Mommy, Mommy, there is a fart on top of Daddy." "Don't be ridiculous," said her mother. "Good families like ours do not have farts. What would the neighbors say?" Nevertheless, she went upstairs to see what was going on. She opened the door and the fart jumped on her. She said, "Ah, clack, ah," and fell right on down. Carmen ran to the phone and called the police. She said, "Help, help, there is a fart on top of Mummy and Dad." "Don't be ridiculous," said the police. "Good Canadians don't have farts. What would the Americans say?" Nevertheless, 3 police drove over to see what was going on. Need a drink. They knocked on the door. Blam, blam, blam. Carmen opened the door and said, "It's upstairs." When the police were halfway up the stairs, the fart started to jump on them. They pulled out their badges and yelled, "Stop!" But everyone knows that farts don't listen to cops. It jumped on them. They went, "Ah, clack, ah," and fell right on down. Carmen decided it was time to leave. She was going to run completely away. She ran to the living room, through the kitchen, and into the backyard, and crashed into her mother's favorite rose bush. She got an idea. She picked up a rose and gave it a smell. Carmen held the rose out in front and walked back through the kitchen and into the living room. She found the fart hiding behind the piano, eating a can of beans. Carmen walked up and stuck the rose right in the fart's nose. It said, "Ah, clack, ah, what a terrible smell!" and it ran out the front door. Then the mother got up off the floor, the father got up off the floor, and the police got up off the floor. They all looked at Carmen and yelled, "That was a fart!" "Don't be ridiculous," said Carmen. "Good families like ours do not have farts." And she walked up the stairs and went to bed. But Carmen's mother stayed up very late that night, working at her sewing machine. And it turns out that sometimes good children do have farts after all. The end. And good night.